Yo, what's going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we've got the episode review for Boruto Naruto Next Generations episode 57. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say that there won't be many videos now for the past week or so. Basically, tomorrow I'm going on holiday to Spain. I will be taking my camera, mic, and laptop with me to record an episode review for while I'm out there. But other than that, you probably won't get many, if any, videos. Now, with all that out of the way, I want to say that this episode, I don't know. If you saw the episode spoiler videos, which I did the last couple of days, you would have known that I was super excited for this episode. I couldn't wait for it. And if I'm 100% honest, I was kind of let down, I'll be honest with you. It didn't live up to my expectation. Now, I don't think it was a bad episode per se. I just think there's some things which I'm going to get into. I'm going to go over the good bits I think about this episode first, and then I'll get into some of the more negatives. They're not exactly bad bits. They're constructive criticism, I guess you would say. So then obviously the good bits was, well, it kind of peaked too soon this episode. Basically, the very start was by far the best bit. We got brand new, never seen before scenes that weren't in the movie, and they were Urashiki confronting Gaara. Now, Urashiki got straight through Gaara's defense, no problem, and took some of his chakra, or the last little bit of Shukaku's chakra, or something like that, with no problem. Urashiki, I'm convinced, guys, I'm telling you right now, Urashiki is going to be one of, if not the main big bad guy of Boruto, okay? I'm just putting out there. This guy has so many secrets that we don't know about yet. It is untrue. But yeah, so this small fight, I don't think you could even call it a fight. This confrontation between Urashiki and Gaara, it was in the form of a flashback. Unfortunately, not the best. Kind of annoyed at these flashbacks, but what can we do? Basically, that was over. It only lasted a couple of minutes. Urashiki went in there, he got what he was fishing for, as he says, and then he was out of there. He bounced. Then after that, we had Sasuke saying, well, we've got no choice but to postpone the tuning exams. And I'm not being funny, guys. This might just be me. But that excuse to not postpone the tuning exams is awful. What type of excuse is, oh, but the feudal lords, they're both sponsoring at the time, and we don't want to hurt the reputation of the Hokage. I'm pretty sure if you just went into the tuning exam arena and went, listen guys, we're sorry, we've had to cancel the tuning exams because, you know, we're being attacked by gods, you know, just a little thing, just one little thing. I'm pretty sure if you went down there, people wouldn't go, yeah, but I want to see 12-year-olds fight. You know, I'm pretty sure the world being attacked by literal gods and 13-year-olds fighting, you know, one's a little bit more important than the other. Just my opinion, but obviously they didn't postpone the student exams, which I didn't expect them to anyway. I mean, well, I just feel like the excuse they came up with to not do it was a little bit poor. Just my opinion. They could have gone, no, we don't want to spread panic just yet. Something like that, you know, because that's what people do in the real world. Yeah, I feel like that excuse was a bit poor. And then after that, we had the capture of the flag scene, which was, it was more or less the same as the movie, pretty much. I mean, other than the Metal Lee versus Shinki bit, I actually preferred all the bits from the movie. I mean, they were pretty much the same, but there was a few differences. I liked how Metal Lee versus Shinki was extended a little bit, I admit. Extended as a long shot. It was a minute or so longer, which is alright, I suppose. That's not bad. It was good. I was hoping it'd be a little bit longer, but that's okay, cool, whatever. We also see Boruto obviously getting just cornered and outnumbered by these mist twins, and they're literally just about to get the flag, and then obviously we see Boruto use his ninja tech to create a huge water style jutsu. But one thing they changed in the episode, which was good. This was good. This is a big good. Basically, in the movie, Boruto used the ninja tech to use the water style and then also use the lightning style. However, in this episode, obviously, in the anime, he used the ninja tech for the water style because he's not great at water style. Pretty sure he does have it, but he's not good at it and there wasn't no water around. But he used his own lightning style. We see him do the hand sign for lightning style, which is good because it's consistent writing. I'm glad that they picked up on that. Just the little details like that was great. However, there was a little cut. This might have just been my imagination. I don't know. Maybe I had an awkward timed blink, something like that. But the cut from Boruto doing the hand sign and saying like lightning style, blah, 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 to him then using it, it was an off cut. You could see there was the anime original cut, which was him using the lightning, making the hand sign, and then it cut straight to the movie bit. And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it was apparent. You could tell that was it was a not a poorly timed cut. I don't know how to explain it, but it was obvious that they went from anime originals just straight back to movie footage, if that makes sense. But again, that might have just been me. A scene which I always liked from the movie was the scene where Naruto was pacing up and down in the Hokage's office to then act like he was just working away hard at work when Shikamaru came in. I loved that bit, and I'm glad that they kept that the same. Obviously, Shikamaru tells Naruto, oh, hey, Boruto's team passed and so Shikadai. And Naruto's like, oh, well, did you come here just to tell me that? And he's like, it's important. And that's great because we then see Naruto actually go home, the real Naruto, go home to Boruto to congratulate him. And then Boruto's like, you came all the way here just to say that? And Naruto's like, oh, well, you know, it's important. And then the scene where he's saying, you did great, good luck, beat Shikadai, and he goes to give him the fist bump, and Boruto's like, I won't lose. That scene was almost perfect. I just wish they kept in the bit from the movie where we can see Boruto cry, laughing on the bed in excitement. That scene was actually really important because to the average viewer watching that, you think, wow, he's finally getting the recognition Boruto wants, and he's acting a bit of a brat almost, I suppose some people would say. However, in the movie, when we saw that, we were like, oh, he does actually, he's extremely excited over this. However, in the anime version, it wasn't quite as apparent, which is unfortunate, but I suppose for the majority of people, we've seen the movie, so we could clock onto that. But I think for the average viewer, that, you know, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but personally, I wish they would have kept that scene. There was also a scene just before this. This was right at the end of the capture of the flag round. Which, by the way, can I just say I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't drag out the capture of the flag round. But I don't know, I'll get on to all my criticisms afterwards. But when Sarada's looking into Boruto's eye, and obviously this was in the movie as well, and she's saying, your eyes, they're bluer than the Hokage's. Obviously in the movie they don't really have as much of an important role. However, now in the anime we can kind of look at that in a slightly different way, because personally I think now they're alluding to the fact that when Sarada says that, you know, it's kind of, maybe I'm overthinking it, but Jogan, it's kind of hinting to the Jogan, do you know what I mean? She's like, your eyes, they're bluer than his. And I feel as if it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like a little nudge, a little hint to the Jogan, maybe to just remind you, like, yeah, Boruto, he has eyes, they're important, there's a thing with his eye and it does a thing. Yeah, I probably not explained that completely as I planned, but I think you guys kind of know what I'm trying to say with it. Now, unfortunately, other than that, I mean, we saw in the preview that we'll get some fights next episode. We'll get Yurui versus Boruto, and then Shikadai versus Yodo, I think her name is. That's interesting. We see Yodo do some sort of like sound wave jutsu, some type of sound jutsu, because we see Shikadai covering his ears and there's clearly a loud noise going on. And we also see this girl, she's got headphones in, so I imagine I can't remember the character's name, but if you guys have seen My Hero Academia, there's a girl who's got like ear plug ears, and she reminds me a bit, I'm guessing her power is going to be a bit like that. I reckon she's definitely got some sound manipulating jutsu, something like that. If you guys remember the tuning exams in part 1 of Naruto, there was that guy who had that thing on his wrist, and like when he punched them, sound waves would go like straight through. I feel like she's got a similar-ish jutsu, something along that type of level, which is interesting because it's a jutsu we never really seen before at all. So that's cool. There's also one of the Leaf Ninja, one of Team 15, She can like scream really loud. It's a bit similar to that. It's an interesting technique. It's an interesting concept that we haven't really seen much of in Naruto before, so I'm all for that. That's great. However, the criticisms I have with this episode and kind of Boruto as a whole, I don't want this to turn into some sort of rant, and I also don't want you guys to think that I'm hating on Boruto, because I love Boruto. I've read the manga and I've obviously seen the movie, so this isn't turning me off the series at all, because I know that it will get better. However, I just want to touch. We're nearly 60 episodes in right now, okay? And I understand it's a time of peace, but these fights in Boruto, they seriously need to pick up. I'm sorry. I just want to say it. It might just be my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and honestly, that's completely fine. But in my opinion, these Boruto fights, they really need to pick up. Now, before the Shunin exam, I could kind of understand, because it was complete time of peace. The Mist arc had a decent long-ish fight, which was one of maybe like the only one, which was okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best arc. But all the time up until episode 50, I could kind of guess, because it was all anime original. They didn't have a ton of freedom to go with, so, and it was a time of peace, so I could understand that. However, I thought with the Chunin exams, it's now 100% canon. Not saying the first 50 episodes weren't canon, because they were, but I thought with the Chunin exams here now, it'd be a good excuse to actually show us some good, not dragged out fights, not stupidly long fights, but fights. Not 30-second clips of fights, or, you know, a 2-minute long fight. Nothing like that. Something with some suspense, something with some meaning. Because so far, all of these fights, I've just not felt that, do you know what I mean? I think you guys should know what I mean. And I understand, like I said, it's still in a bit of a uncertain territory, because it's still kind of all anime original, but I just thought we'd get something a little bit better. And I understand that they might not be wanting to drag on this Chunin exam fighting stuff too much, because they probably just want to get to the Momoshiki bit as soon as possible, because they know then is when everyone's going to start flooding back to Boruto. So I do understand it, okay? I don't want you to think I'm just completely hating on Boruto, because I'm not. I do understand it. I'm just worried that for the casual fan, someone who doesn't read the manga, someone who has or hardly remembers the movie, people like that, I'm worried that they're going to be driven away, if they're not already, from obviously all the previous bits. But I'm just afraid they're going to be driven away. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, who cares if they go away? Personally, I do care. I don't want our community to fall apart. I want us to have a nice, big, large community like we did in the Naruto days. I want us to have a good community. And if people start falling off, then it's just going to result in more haters, which is then going to trigger the current community, which is then going to make us look bad. And it's just not really what I want, if that makes sense. I understand I don't have any control about it, but that's just my opinion. This turned into more of a rant than an episode review, but I'll give my overall score of the episode. I'll give it a 7, a generous 7. Okay, it was by no means a bad episode. If I'd never seen the movie before and all of this, then I probably would have scored it higher. However, Gaara versus Urashiki being so short and being a flashback took out any suspense that there was, because we could see beforehand that Gaara was going to end up fine, so that took out suspense. I think the fact that other than that it was all more or less just straight from the movie was a bit of a I understand that might not be the fairest of criticisms, because, well, this is a rehash of the movie, so it's to be expected. But I just thought, you know, so far they've done so well with implementing new things and making noticeable changes, that with this episode there was very little noticeable changes. And then the last thing, which I touched on, I just feel like these fights, they've not been the best. Okay? They've just not been the best. I'm hoping the future fights, because we know it's going to get good, that they will improve. One thing I want to say is, in the preview, we see there's going to be 2 fights in the next episode. Boruto and Yuri and Shikadai and the Sand Girl. That is a little bit of an alarm bell, because it says to me, oh yeah, you know, you're going to get some more short fights. And it is the first round of these one-on-one fights, so that's okay. I just hope the latter ones, we get some good ones. This, for example, Boruto versus Shikadai that cannot be a short couple minute long fight, because that they've built up Shikadai and Boruto's relationship for so many episodes. These two are great best buddies almost. So if they take away any suspense from that fight, I will not be pleased. You will expect a rant video if they make that a suspenseless couple minute long fight. I've ranted on too much. Guys, leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you guys thought of the episode. Do you agree on my points? If you don't, let's have a little discussion. Honestly, if you guys have different opinions, that doesn't bother me. All power to you. This is just my opinion. I don't expect it to be seen as fact. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in another video. It'll probably be next week for the next Boruto review, because I'm not going to be at my setup. I'm not going to be here. All my posters. What am I meant to do without all my posters? It's not going to be right. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.